Hello. Good afternoon, everyone. How's everyone doing today? It's been a minute since I've been on live, but today we are going to talk about self-love as a courageous act. I want you to sit and think about it for a second while we tune in and get people coming on live. We are live on Facebook and on Instagram. So again, if you see me going back and forth, then you know why I'm on two different platforms. So let's give people some time to kind of join in, share the video if you would like, and we will get started soon. Okay, so let's get rolling. So, welcome. This is Marianne Francis. I'm a licensed marriage and family therapist out in Connecticut. And I am the owner of Mending Hearts LLC. And UNA-pologetically is a service that I provide, trademark at that. And it's a service for a platform for women where we discuss self love and building, connecting, empowering one another as women. Me providing tips, me providing lives like this, so that way we have a clear understanding of self love and its journey. So it's one of the other services that I provide under Mending Hearts LLC. So today I wanted to hop on live and discuss self love as a courageous act. We've had different other topics before, and this one to me really struck a chord the past few days in seeing different clients of mine, different people, stories that I hear, women empowerment. And again, self love is not just one of those things that is geared for women, it's gender neutral. It's in every aspect of life and human beings, period. It's self-love is something that you want to endure, want to start understanding, because it's one of those things in your life and your journey. The more you learn about it and understand, you realize that it has an impact on your life. And it may not seem that way, but the reality is that the basis of what we do in life, the decisions that we make, the confidence that we have, our self-esteem, our mental health, is based on self-love. If I love myself enough, I'm going to make sure that these things are taken care of. If I don't love myself, I would treat myself as if I don't love myself. So why is self-love a courageous act? Well, let's break this down and look at a couple definitions here, right? So if we talk about courage and what the definition of courage is, it's the ability to do something that frightens one, right? So think about that for a moment when you're thinking about self-love, or things that you have had to do that you had to build that courage on, right? Now let's take courageous, not deterred by danger or pain, being brave. Now, if we take act, like the courageous act, is to do something, is to put a plan into place and acting on it, right? Doing something. So, why is self love a courageous act? Because for some people, it takes courage and to be brave in order to put self love part of your life and prioritize that, right? If we take a look at your own journey, reflect on where you are in your self love journey currently. How long did it take you to get there or understand that self love was a journey? Some people have had trauma, and of course that varies, whether that's physical, sexual, emotional abuse, right? Or maybe in their current relationships they're going through a cycle where they just can't understand, why doesn't this person love me, right? um Parents and caregivers, sometimes because of their trauma, they end up abusing their own kids emotionally, physically, and etc. Think about your journey and some of the things that have been detrimental to your own mental health and your self love. Think about any bullying that you've experienced, maybe in your childhood at school and what that might have done to your self-esteem. Think about the fact that some people stress eat, right, or emotionally eat because they feel like that's the only way that they have control over themselves. That all has to do with self-love. Guiding yourself into a place where you're choosing yourself first, prioritizing that, learning to take care of yourself, understanding that it's bravery and it takes that courage and faith in yourself to say, I'm going to choose me despite all odds and everything else that I've been through. The other day, I had made a comment on one of my clients that I had seen, and I said, man, you are smiling. She was exuding happiness and peace. But she didn't just hop on a train and get there. That took it took us being together for a year and a half or so. And even before her journey with me, she started her journey a long time ago with other type of modalities, right? She took initiative. She said one day she woke up and she was like, I don't want to think negatively. I don't want to think negatively anymore because it makes me a negative person, and I'm not a negative person. I love life. So why am I acting like I hate it or that I hate people? That doesn't make sense. Why am I being negative? And every single day she got up and chose to think differently. She got up and chose to do affirmation. She got up and chose and you stop think method in order to say, nope, I'm not thinking about it that way. I'm reframing that, right? It was a choice. And it was also a choice for her to step into different modalities of therapy to say, what can I do to make myself a better person? She took accountability for the journey that she wants for herself. And so when she got on board with me, we worked on that, right? That empowerment piece, the understanding the whys, and why did it lead me to here? What led me into the lack of self-love? And when she started to understand her why and face it and not run away from it, which is a courageous act, that's pure bravery. She was able to do the work that it took so that today she can smile. Today she can say, man, this was my journey and I'm happy and I am finally at peace. No matter how long that may take, it takes the courage to step into it. I have other people that have went to the different platforms because at Mending Hearts, the purpose is for you to choose your path to healing and growing. So whether that might be talk therapy, whether that might be just relax and retreat where we're doing Reiki or meditation, or whether that might be through Unapologetically and attending workshops and retreats and connecting, it's putting in the effort. But what I love the most when people might go through the different various stages and services is the effort that they put outside of that, right? Outside of me being there or my team being there, it's them saying, I'm going to go today and make that effort and have the courage to go sit by the water and meditate by myself because that's what I want to do and that's what makes me feel good. And damn it, that is my interpretation of self-love and giving myself that self-care. Those are the things that make me smile when I see people taking that accountability for themselves and saying, I'm not going to have you hold my hand this time. I'm going to go out and get it myself because I deserve this for me. That's courageous. It's courageous when you've dealt with a traumatic childhood and you've learned to distance yourself and say no to those people who have impeded upon your boundaries. And to acknowledge that and be able to say, no, I'm done and that's it. I'm no longer going to allow you to impede upon my life, my boundaries, tell me what and when just because it satisfies you. I'm making the move and having the faith and the courage to move forward, and it might mean leaving people behind. That is courageous. That is some form of bravery that I know that some people have a hard time doing. What are some of I would like for you guys to reflect on some of the things and the courageous acts that you have made for your self-love. If anything that hits you today, I want you to reflect on that. What are some of the courageous acts that I have made towards my self-love? A few last month, so we went on a Women's Day workshop to Block Island, and I would say, this is just like a metaphor in a sense, but one of the things that we did was kayaking. And the lady who was leading it, or at least she was leading it from the dock, was saying, do not go in this path because that is for the boaters. You want to move past this and go over there, right? And we're thinking, sure, not a problem. But it was a problem because what we were fighting against was the resistance of the water. The water was coming at us and we were trying to break through it. Now, a couple of the ladies just broke through it. My sister and I were spinning around somehow in that whole cycle. And then the next two ladies somehow veered off in the complete different direction that we were supposed to go. So here we are trying to fight through the resistance. And on top of that, hearing a lady yell from the dock saying, you're not doing it right. You're not doing it right. Well, lady, we're trying, right? And sometimes life is like that, where you're fighting against the resistance. You have all the waves and the current pushing you away, pushing you one way when you're trying to break free. And it just seems like an obstacle after obstacle after obstacle, and it just keeps going. You're just trying to break free. And after, I don't know, 10 minutes of us circling and going in circles in this current that we got caught up on, we could have given up. We could have just said, you know what, forget this. We're just going to go back on the dock because the lady's been yelling for like 10 or 15 minutes and we can't figure it out. But there was something within us that says, no, we're not going to just give up, because it takes courage not to give up. That's courageous. It's brave not to give up, because it could have been a lot easier just to give up. But what would we felt about ourselves at that time if we did? We probably wouldn't have felt good about ourselves. We probably would have been down and out. We probably wouldn't have, been able to laugh about it afterwards and finding how funny it was that we were fighting against a current and someone else yelling at us and not really being, teaching us how to do this, but instead we fought through. So me and my sister fought through that after about 15 minutes, and the other ladies were still stuck going the opposite direction. And we're on the other side trying to encourage them because you can do it. You can do this. And eventually they got through too. And when they did, we were able to have so much fun. And granted, that was a hilarious moment to us. It was frustrating, but it was also hilarious, because when you break through to the other end and you're no longer fighting those currents of resistance and you're flowing through that journey, you start understanding and aligning of how do we make this work so that it flows, right? We're using the paddles, we're working as a team. But if we didn't try to fight through those currents, we wouldn't have known how to make it work continuing forward. Sometimes your journey is about the obstacles and learning how to use your courage in a manner that says, I'm not going to allow it for me to give up. I'm going to use this moment as a way to learn and to understand how this works, so that way I can move forward and continue on my journey. Self-love is not linear. Self-love, you will always continue to learn. And you want that. You want to be able to experience those moments that have those obstacles, because how else can you really determine what your courage is like, right? At those moments. Those are the moments where your courage can come in full force. Don't give up. Be courageous. So if I would love to hear people's stories, I would love to hear a courageous act that you ended up doing. This is what this platform is about. Tell me in the comments, a courageous act that you've had. Thank you guys all today for joining me. I truly appreciate it. And if you have a topic that you would love for me to talk about in regards to self-love, let me know, because these are one of the things that are our important topic, and we have to understand that self-love comes in different avenues and forms. So be courageous, be brave, and take action. Until next time, this is Marianne from UNA-pologetically. Thank you.